right. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. We are so excited to have you here. My name is Amy Davis. I am the registered dietitian over at Swerve. And today, of course, we have Jayne, the no sugar baker. Jayne, how you doing today?
Hey, check it out. Look at my shades. Can y'all see them? It's like 4th of July. We're kicking it off with these awesome sunglasses. They're the best. They're the best. It's so great.
So patriotic, so festive. I love it. So exciting. Well, guys, we're so excited to have you here, and we'll just give everybody a couple minutes just to keep trickling in and everything. But Jayne, before we kick it off, I'll just go over a few little housekeeping points on Zoom. If you guys are new to Zoom, you can actually view us in either gallery or speaker mode. So if it's in gallery mode, you can see everybody in the chat. So if you want to turn on your camera, wave to us, whatever, you can see everybody if you put it on gallery mode. And then you can also put it in speaker mode. And again, that's going to be your top right corner where you can make that change there. And if you put it in speaker mode, you'll just see who's talking. So it'll probably mostly be me or Jayne. But yeah, so you do have those two viewing options. And then we also want to hear all of your wonderful questions. And so I have my computer in front of me. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and hit that chat box, which is going to be on the bottom center of the window here. And it just says chat, and you can click on that and enter in any questions that you have. I'm going to be monitoring the chat while Jayne shows us all of her fabulous recipes. So go ahead and put all of your questions in there. And I think it's a great exercise to see where everybody's tuning in from. So if you want to let us know where you're tuning in from and whatever questions you have today, what you want to learn about Swerve or all of Jayne's wonderful recipes, go ahead and put that in there, and we'll be watching that the whole Zoom. All right, and Maria is from California. Hello, Maria. Thank you for joining today. And we'll just let everybody kind of trickle in here. We've got Mary from Venice, Florida, Hallberg from Chicago, Dina from the Chicago suburbs, Chicagoland, if you will. And Jayne, where are you tuning in from today?
Oh my gosh, I'm actually Mary. You should come on over because I'm in Venice, Florida too. That's awesome.
Another Venice. Okay, perfect. Y'all are neighbors. That's amazing. That's awesome. And then of course, I'm tuning in from the Swerve office in New Orleans, Louisiana. Okay, we've got some more people from California. Karen, hello, Karen. Okay, awesome. Well, this is great. Again, guys, thank you so much for being here today. We're really excited to show you some recipes. Jayne has whipped up some fabulous festive 4th of July goodies. So Jayne, if you want to go ahead and get started and show us some of these amazing recipes.
I can't wait. So we got 4 great recipes for you today. But you know what? Here's I want to tell you my story real fast if you don't know it. You were just talking about it. Got sick on my 45th birthday in August. It's almost been 2 years ago. Fought it tooth and nail, thought I had the flu, ended up in the emergency room. I actually lost my eyesight for about 3 weeks. My glucose level at the time was 300 in my glucose, and then also 300 spilled over in my urine. Completely 6 months later, completely medicine free, shed 60 pounds, and completely took sugar out of my life. Swerve came to my life only because of this. I was at the grocery store. After 6 months in, I was at the grocery store. I found myself looking at the aisles, trying to figure out what in the heck I could possibly do to get a treat back in my life. I used to love this kitchen. I hated the kitchen after I got sick. So I had to figure out a way to get myself back in. I found Swerve, just like you found Swerve in your grocery store aisles. That's exactly how this all came to be. And so my daughter said, hey, look, people like your recipes. You should make a Facebook page. I thought she was crazy. I did that. And now it's been over a year. We're 100,000 followers into it, and we're having a great time. So here's what we're going to do today.
Amazing.
I'm going to show you today 3 recipes and talk about one in particular. But the first one, so easy. It's a fresh strawberry cake. And oh my gosh, you guys, have you seen the strawberries? Oh my gosh, Mary, have you seen the strawberries in Venice? They're like literally the size of your hand. They are huge. They are great. So what you're going to do in this cake, and I've fallen in love, Amy, with the Swerve yellow cake mix. You know this. I use it now. I literally use it all the time. So it's a sugar-free, obviously, cake mix. I use a Swerve brand, and I also use a sugar-free strawberry or a strawberry gelatin. Go ahead and put that into your mixing bowl, and you're going to combine. This is so easy. It's almost unbelievable. 4 eggs, eggs, a half a cup of unsweetened almond milk, and a half a cup of oil. There goes my cute props, half a cup of oil. Then it is 2 cups of those whole fresh strawberries. As you know, strawberries is very low in natural sugar, so they're great. Go ahead and put all you do, literally, this is all you do. You can combine it together. This is, your kids can do this, for crying out loud. Grandchildren, what a great summer idea. You just mix it, combine it great nicely. I made this about a week ago. Emily came home. As you know, she just became a police officer. She came home for a little bit of a weekend break. This recipe, actually, out of all of them, was her favorite. Was this easy strawberry cake. She absolutely loved it. So, make sure you spray your baking cake pan. 9 by 12. Then you're just gonna pour it in, just like you normally would with a cake. Just pour it in, make sure it's even, Steven.
The color is so great too. It's such a vibrant red color.
It's gonna get a little dull after it bakes, but that's okay, because you're gonna frost it with the no sugar baker whipped cream cheese frosting. Make sure you spread it nice and even across the whole.
So Jayne, we have a question. We have a question from Maria. She's asking what type of, well, she's asking, does strawberry jello have sugar in it? Do you have a specific brand or something that you recommend for that part?
Yeah, I use the sugar-free popular jello brand.
Okay,
and I look
gotcha.
at the back, trust me, I have to look at labels like no one's business, so I definitely do that. You're gonna bake this at 350 for about 50 minutes, okay? Then you're gonna let it cool, and then you're gonna take heavy whipping cream, about 8 ounces of cream cheese, and probably about 1/2 cup to 1 cup of Swerve confections. Mix it together, whip it nice and strong, and then I'm gonna destroy my whole stuff here. Then you're gonna destroy, do you see it? You guys see the finished piece of cake?
Oh my gosh.
Look how the pink pops. Trust me, it is so moist. It is fantastic. Okay, so that's recipe number 1. Nice and easy. It tastes light. It's very fruity. It's excellent. And trust me, I used to only think that cake involved chocolate. Now it involves strawberries too. Okay.
Now, Jayne, let me ask you real quick. If somebody wanted to get these recipes, where would they go?
You can go to www.nosugarbaker.com. And I also know that Swerve has posted them onto your website, and also I believe onto all your social media sites too. So www.nosugarbaker.com or all the Swerve outlets. We've got you covered. Okay.
We'll put those links in the chat below too, so you guys can click directly on them.
Yeah. Okay. Look here. This one, I'm not even going to go into this one. Do you guys see this cookie? Can you see it? I don't know if you can tell. It's got a cream cheese.
It looks awesome.
Okay, this is probably our number 1 recipe out there. Number 1 liked recipe. I'm not going to go into it. You can find it at nosugarbaker.com. I'm sure Emily and Amy will post this recipe too. But what it is the middle of this literally is 8 ounces of cream cheese with about 1/2 cup of Swerve confections. Mix it together. I did it right here. And you're going to refrigerate it. And then you're going to take the chocolate chip cookie recipe, which literally only calls for Swerve brown as the dough, along with recipes. And you're going to put it in almost like you would like a peanut butter cup filling in the middle of it, and then wrap it around with a cookie dough on the outside. Bake it at about 350 for only 9 to 10 minutes. And literally, when I say to you, this cookie will win you the blue ribbon at the state fair, I mean it. Because everybody absolutely loves it, and it's so fantastic. Okay, I gotta do a little switcheroo here. When I was first diagnosed, I'm a Minnesota kind of gal, right? So I like pop. I love soda. I had to give it up completely. My doctor told me, if you have to have any soda, I want you to drink lemon lime zero, not diet lemon lime, but literally lemon lime zero or diet root beer. I didn't have anything for a good 1.5 years. Finally, I'm like, I used to love root beer floats. So I had to figure out a way to like, I want to taste like what a root beer float would taste like. So guess what we came up with, Amy?
No Sugar Baker root beer floats.
Yeah.
I know you did it.
Which actually does taste like a float. Now I got
the pie. Yes, that's right.
The pie. So this here. Now, for the crust, okay, because usually pie crust, if you're going to go and get the traditional store-bought pie crust, has sugar in it because of the flour, right? So what I did instead, I did it ahead of time. This one takes a little bit more prep, okay? So the first step is 2 cups of almond flour, along with, I use half a cup of Swerve granular, along with half a cup of butter, melt it till it gets really crumbly, bake it at 350 for about 10 minutes at the bottom of your pie dish. Then, hold on to your socks because this is the easiest and so great too. It is 1 package of sugar-free vanilla pudding, 1 cup of diet root beer, and trust me on this one, half a cup of unsweetened almond milk. That's where it gets that creaminess. Then it's out there. Instead of vanilla extract, guess what there is, friends? Root beer extract. Root beer extract. You're going to add in about 2 tablespoons. Now listen. When I had this everybody taste it last week, the taste testers were over, and I told you Emily was home. They said it tasted a little bit like a chocolate. So I was a little taken back by that comment, right? So I'm like, I wasn't really going for chocolate, I was going for root beer. So you might want to add in a little bit more of the extract. And then, of course, you need to make ahead of time sugar-free whipped cream, which is literally heavy whipping cream along with Swerve confections. Whip it, whip it, whip it. Store it in your refrigerator until you're ready. Pour it into, fold it right in to your mixture. Then, again, it's so stinking easy. You're just gonna mix it together, combine it nice together. Oh my gosh, this one's looking already a little bit more, I was gonna say chocolatey, a little bit more dark than the first time I made it. But it does taste like a root beer float, sugar-free, of course, inside a pie.
Right.
Okay, so I'm actually going to show you what the combined with the whipped cream, the color of it, because it's not very dark. It's still a little light. You see that? It's still a little light. You're just going to pour that right into the pie crust that you made. Okay? Oh my gosh. I can't wait. Baby, I can't wait. And then you're going to take and put this in your freezer, and you're going to freeze it overnight.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and it's gonna literally, yep, taste like it's gonna taste like a root beer float. I promise you that. And then you can top it with, if you want to, you can top it with whipped cream. You know what else you can do if you're having a party? Go find yourself, and I know they make them, sugar-free root beer barrels, and sprinkle that on top of the whipped cream. Oh my gosh, you are going to be the hit of the potluck or the party. But let me know if you think it tastes like chocolate. I don't think it does. I think it tastes like root beer. So there's that treat too. Now,
well, that sounds awesome. Now, Jayne, we do have a question in the audience from Mary. She's asking, if you use sugar-free, fat-free pudding, would that affect the outcome of this recipe?
Go ahead and try it. Absolutely try it. I think it's gonna be just fine and just good. In fact, I believe that's what I use, Mary, is the sugar-free, fat-free instant vanilla pudding mix. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
Now, Amy, you know I love a good garage sale.
We do. We talked about this last time. Lots of gems at the garage sales.
Yes, this is probably my new favorite gem. I got this a year ago for $2, and let me tell you, it is burning a hole in my pocket. It is a bundt cake pan that I've used constantly now, that Emily actually found me at the garage sale last week. Look at these cute little things. 2 small bundt pans too, so now we can make individualized.
Oh, little minis. Those are so cute.
Which is awesome, so great. Okay, so this is, you see this? Oh, can you not see this? It's the No Sugar Baker White Chocolate Raspberry Bundt Cake. And you can actually have some. I've posted on my webpage, I posted some different, I've tried a butterscotch one. I've tried a deep chocolate one. They're all out there. So go ahead, look at all the different varieties of it, because it's so great and it's easily done from the Swerve cake mix. What you're gonna do is, the key is a good bundt cake pan. Along with this, spray the pan like you're spraying sunscreen. Like literally thick.
Very liberally. Yes, that's a great tip. And I do notice that, you guys, with our cake mixes, they're made with almond and coconut flour. So sometimes they do stick to the pan a little bit more. So make sure you just spray the heck out of that pan.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, now, again, so easy. It's going to be the Swerve yellow cake mix along with, and I didn't even know this existed, sugar-free white chocolate pudding mix. Yes, it's out there. Trust me. One box, that's what I have right inside here. Then, this is starting to sound familiar, 4 eggs. Along with half a cup of water and a half a cup of oil. You can, your choice. I happen to use vegetable oil. I know there's some folks that like to use olive oil only. Your choice. I use vegetable oil, along with 1 cup of sour cream. Now, go ahead and fold and combine that. You know what I love about all these recipes? You don't need that big old mixer out. Everything is
That's very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, when you have to lug out the big mixer like the one we have right there, it kind of is like, okay,
right.
One less barrier to baking for sure.
It's so much easier, right? So
yeah.
Go ahead. I'm going to kind of go this a little fast here.
Now, Jayne, while you're mixing, I'm going to answer a question we have in the chat. So this is from Mary. She's asking about our Swerve cake mixes, which are these guys. If you don't know about these, we have a vanilla cake mix. We have, let's see, pancake and waffle mix. We have a brownie mix. We also have a chocolate chip cookie mix and a chocolate cake mix. Now, they're not available in like all stores yet, but if you can't find them, definitely go to our store locator, and we'll drop the link in the chat here, but that's just going to be swervesweet.com/find-swerve. And you can enter in your zip code and it'll tell you all of the nearest retailers to you. So yes, that's going to be your best way to figure out if there's a store nearby you where you can just go and pick up a cake mix. But if you can't find them in any stores near you, you can always get them on Amazon.
Okay, now, when you're making the white chocolate, I would suggest, do you know this, Amy? There's actually sugar-free white chocolate chips out there. They came into existence, I think, like, I'm crying right now. They came into existence after Christmas because it was like, I was like praying, like, please, we have sugar-free white chocolate chips. And sure enough, in February, I found them on the shelf. So they are in existence. You're going to want to add, when you make it at home with the raspberry, you want to add about 1.5 cups of the sugar-free chocolate chip. I'm actually going to use a dark chocolate in this because I just want to try to see what the taste is different. But in the other recipe, you add the white chocolate, mix it together, make sure that pan, again, is sprayed well. Now, only pour half the batter into the bundt cake pan, only half. Spread it out nice and even.
So just to recap, Jayne, you put the chocolate chips in the bundt cake pan first, then the batter.
In the batter, with the batter.
Okay.
Then you're going to take a sugar-free raspberry preserves. Okay.
Ooh.
You're just going to take and put, like, this might not sound very professional, but it's the truth. You're just going to take and put clumps of it all along the circle, around the horn of the pan, right? I'll kind of, I'll look this up and show you in a second. We need a better studio.
I know, we need an overhead camera for all of your different mixing and baking.
Okay, so then you're just going to take your knife and you're going to swirl it around in the dough, okay? You're going to take and swirl it around, spread it out, basically is what you're doing. You're spreading out the preserves or the jam, whatever your choice is. Just make sure it's sugar-free. Then you're going to top it with the rest of the cake batter. Spread it out nice and evenly. You know what I like about this recipe too, is that you can freeze it and you pull it out for like a dinner party the day of. And it is so fantastic. And trust me, it looks so great on your dinner party, like on the table of like, look at this fancy dessert. And then you can like brag to everybody that, hey, it's sugar-free and they're not going to believe you. It's fun. Now,
I love it.
This is the finished product, okay? Bake it at 350. I would put it for about 45 to 47 minutes. I let it cool in the pan for a good 10 minutes. Then I cut around the edge of the pan and flip it onto a plate. And then I've been freezing them overnight, and then I decorate it with, again, heavy whipping cream, cream cheese, and the Swerve confections. And trust me, you get when you cut into it, you get the raspberry along with the white chocolate. And it looks pretty on a plate, and it is so stinking good, literally.
That flavor combination, the white chocolate raspberry, and even the regular chocolate chips that you used just now, sounds just heavenly. So we have got to recreate this.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what this is like, because also when I just tried that butterscotch caramel, which was with the Swerve cake mix too, it was craving at the time. Remember the old, like the old school, they're still around, but for me, they're old school butterscotch dilly bars. Oh my gosh, during the summer, it almost tasted like, so it kind of can help crave some of those crazy cravings. I never had those until basically in the last 6 months where I'm like, oh, I'm dying for a root beer float. I'm dying for a dilly bar, but I know I can't reach for those. So I had to figure out a way to make it the healthy way. And that's exactly what this does.
I love it. And okay, so we have a chat from Maria. Is this true? Are you using a red mixing bowl? It's a Betty Crocker bowl found at the Dollar Tree for $1. Is that right?
Is it orange?
I don't know, but she said it's great because it's light. It has a handle and a bottom grip. It sounds like I need to get one.
Yeah,
wow.
Hey, Maria, I love the dollar store. Actually, this is where all my, Amy calls these Crocs. I call them like party essentials. That's where they all came from. So yeah, so you know what I think people really love about the no sugar breakers, that I'm extremely thrifty. All my stuff usually comes from garage sales. The orange bowl did come from garage sale, came from the dollar store. That's great.
Okay, we all need to go shopping at the dollar store after this, because it sounds like we're going to get some great deals and great kitchen utensils. So that's awesome. And then we just had a chat from Karen who said, do you have the carb counts on these recipes?
You know what, Karen, here's the deal. I really encourage people to go online and use their own nutritional apps, especially because of the cake mixes, especially because of the flour choices you use. Almond is very, very different than the all-purpose. And so I'm very specific ingredient or carb choices. I eat less than 20 carbs a day. So all my recipes are extremely low carb, definitely not calorie free. They're definitely low carb, but I just really encourage people to use their own ingredients. I think it's so nutritional specific because of my dietary needs that I don't like giving that advice out. And I think that it's really important to make sure that you go and use those nutritional apps to get your exact measurement, because for me, it's literally the decision between vision and no vision.
Right. Exactly. I think that's great. Yeah. Everyone kind of has their own different dietary needs and preferences, but yeah, your recipes are going to be super, super low carb, because I mean, none of the ingredients that you're using really have any significant amount of carbs in them at all. So
well, I can't, here's the deal, Amy, I can't have carbs. The second I get carbs, you know this, we've talked about this. The second I get carbs, the very first sign I have is not like a blood sugar rising. You know what it is? My vision gets blurry. And that to me is like I know, to me, that's like the scariest. Losing my vision ever again will be the scariest moment of my life if it ever happens that way. But just the fear of starting to get that blurriness again, right? And not noticing. For instance, one of the very first signs was, I used to tell the hubs, my husband, right? I call him the hubs of the blog. I always like, can you fix that picture for me? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, that picture, for crying out loud, will you please fix that picture on the wall? Well, to him, it wasn't crooked. To me, it was crazy crooked because I got too many carbohydrates that day. My vision was starting to go.
Wow. I mean, that's so wild that you just have that like immediate reaction, and you know, like that's your body telling you like, hey, a little bit too much today, but wow, that's wild.
In a weird way, it's kind of a good control measure now too, right? Because basically it's keeping me healthy, it's keeping me great. And so I can't ask for anything else. And this isn't just for diabetics, right? Obviously, I'm kind of like now America's most severe diabetic, right? Or known that way, but it's also for like heart disease. Folks are just generally looking over their healthcare. I mean, my parents are in their 70s, and they definitely have gone this way of their eating choices too, because it just makes you feel better overall.
Right. When you're not having all that sugar and having those highs and lows, and you know, you're just more steady and even keeled. I totally agree.
I don't think it ruins your energy level.
Yeah. This is how you're able to do all these different segments, like 3 segments in a day. It's because you're eating this way and you're avoiding sugar. So I love it. It's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Is that from Karen as well? Yeah. Karen said she's been a type 1 diabetic for almost 51 years. Wow. So you've got a lot of experience.
A lot of experience, and you understand that you have to watch those carbohydrates. I think one of the next specials we're going to do is actually, Karen, might really go to your heart of it, so to speak, is I think we're going to do possibly a Swerve program about kids, summer and kids baking. And there's so many kids that are diagnosed with juvenile diabetes as kids that they have to watch their sugar intakes, as carb intakes. And so I'd love to get some recipes that you can make with your grandchildren, you can do with your kids. And I just think it'd be kind of a fun little summer show, so to speak.
Yeah,
and so, gonna be great. Amy, so needed.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's see. Now, do you guys, okay, so we have a question from Maria. Does Swerve have a grittiness that most sugar-free products don't have? I think it just depends on what you're making. Swerve definitely can dissolve down whenever you cook it or bake with it. And Jayne, definitely jump in if you have any insight here, but it just kind of depends. Sometimes Swerve will recrystallize when you have like a colder dessert, or if there's not much fat in a dessert or something like that. But for the most part, if you're just using it in recipes, just as you would like normal sugar or normal other sugar replacements, you should be fine.
Here's the deal. This is coming from the consumer, right? I will tell you this, Swerve doesn't have any funky aftertaste to it. Swerve is all natural. I will say that occasionally, like Amy said, if something's like frozen, for instance, I tried this morning one of these cookies that were frozen. It did kind of taste a little bit crystally. And I wondered if it was because maybe it's so much, I added so much Swerve brown into one of the cookies by instance, but it doesn't give you any aftertaste. It's all natural, and trust me, I wouldn't be here baking with it constantly if I didn't like it or didn't taste good. So that's just I'll give it to you straight like I always do. I don't think it has any funky taste. I think it's actually great. And I thank God literally that I found it that day at the grocery store.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Okay, guys. Yeah, just keep the questions coming. If there's anything we can answer for y'all, happy to do so. Jayne, about your recipes, or more of your tips and tricks on kind of celebrating in a healthier way. We have the 4th of July holiday coming up, and
we kind of had like Memorial Day. We talked about this. We just did the barbecue marinade, right? That's really one of our new favorite recipes out there, and it's so easy. What you do is you take a plastic bag. Talk about fancy. You can get those at the dollar store too for $1. It's a plastic bag. You just add in a jigger of whiskey sugar free. You add in a couple tablespoons of oil, a couple tablespoons of lemon juice to give it a little citrus, and then a half a cup of Worcestershire sauce and a half a cup of soy sauce, along with garlic and salt. And then here's our fun little trick: add 1/4 of a cup of Swerve brown. Add it into the bag along with your protein. I've done it so far on chicken, pork, salmon, and ribeye. Oh my gosh, you guys! It literally is my husband's new favorite go-to for the grill. So you actually let it marinate overnight, and it gives you so much flavor. The recipe goes back to about, for sure, 100 years ago. My grandma made it. Every Christmas we had it. My grandma made it, and my mom said, hey, look, you need to figure out how to do this recipe your way, my way, No Sugar Baker way, and that's exactly what we did. So you can also find that on the blog, nosugarbaker.com, along with a lot of great salad recipes too, because right now everyone's having people over for pool parties, barbecue parties. Trust me, I just went to a graduation party over the weekend. Guess what? I love the child dearly, but there was not one food item at this party I could actually have. Not one, right? And I was asking, I'm like, oh, hey, do you have peanuts? I'm like, well, wait, I'm not have peanuts. I'm like, okay, that's good, right? There was popcorn, but it was caramel popcorn. So it's really important to have variety, or even to bring those variety choices yourself, to prepare yourself for something like that. So there's a great chicken salad recipe on the blog that has blueberries and strawberries. So it brings out the red, white, and blue and a little bit of pop, along with a broccoli bacon bash salad that I'm saying that's really heavy on the bacon, light on the broccoli.
Okay, that's how we like it.
Swerve, so it's all good.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think that's such a great tip about, like, if you don't know the food situation at a party you're going to, sometimes it's just best to bring something that you know you can eat and that's going to be compliant, like with your dietary restrictions, because you don't want to make anybody feel bad. And it's like everybody just wants to have a good time. They're just kind of thinking about what they like. But that's a really great way to ensure, like, you're not going to be starving at a party. You're going to have something to eat, and you can just relax and have a good time with everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
find all the recipes. It was great seeing everybody. Happy 4th of July. Happy freedom. Happy red, white, and blue. We'll hopefully see you soon again, Amy. Love you guys so much.
Absolutely. Well, Jayne, you were fabulous, as you always are today. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Emily, if you want to drop that link in the chat one more time to find all of these recipes and more. We also have a great newsletter, and Jayne has a newsletter too.
Amy, we forgot about the giveaways. Are you kidding me? There's a giveaway package, right?
Thank God for Emily. She is like Guys, Emily is behind the scenes at the Swerve office. She's given us all the links. She's keeping us in line. We just got so excited. We forgot we're doing a giveaway.
Yeah,
so definitely.
Nobody loves a giveaway more than I do. So make sure you get in the giveaways, guys. And maybe we can convince Amy and Emily to even do 2 of those packages or throw in a couple more no sugar baker cookbooks.
You could probably convince me. For you, Jayne, we would do it. We would do it.
do it.
All right, guys. Oh, Maria, you had a quick question. Is vanilla cake the same as yellow cake or baked?
Yes.
Yeah, they're the same. They're the same.
Yes.
Yeah. It's all
I call it vanilla. Am I supposed to call it yellow?
It doesn't matter. It's we put vanilla extract in it, so it basically is it's gonna be a vanilla cake once you bake it. So it's all good.
Hey, I gotta take it. I gotta let you know, guys, what it tastes like with the chocolate, the dark chocolate versus the white chocolate. I think it's gonna be like crazy good.
Yeah, keep us posted. I wish you could just like send us a little piece in the mail. That would be wonderful. But we'll just have to have you in town.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Very soon, right?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful 4th of July.
Make sure you see us at No Sugar Baker on Facebook.
Bye, guys.